Hello, this is a first video for the Chem 1B lab tutorials on how to use Microsoft Excel. In this video we'll be looking at Study Guide A Problem 1.1, in particular how we can enter data into Excel and calculate a mean and standard deviation. I've switched to Excel, and when you open Excel you'll see a screen that looks something like this. There's a number of boxes here, each are called cells, and they're referenced by a column letter A and a row number 1 in this case. So this would be cell A1. I can switch to a different cell simply by moving the cursor and using the left mouse button to click on that cell. Okay, I'm going to start by entering a title for this plot and some information about my name, which is highly relevant if you're going to be handing it in. So let's call this Study Guide A Problem 1.1, Chem 1B. I'm Tuesday, Thursday, 8 to 11 a.m. and my name. Okay. This will print out when we print out the data, and it's convenient just to go ahead and type it in. I'm going to enter a caption here at the top of my data. I'll just label it data, but if you were doing this in a real lab type setting, you would have some information about what these numbers were, and it would be appropriate to put your data in. You can also enter some information like units in that header, and then it would be implied for all the things in that column. I'm just entering text by typing the text in. Excel interprets it as text rather than a number. When I type a number in, it will go ahead and interpret it the other way. So I'll just type in some data that is not the same as yours, so you'll need to put your own data in. I'm now going to skip ahead a little bit. Okay, so I've entered all my data. One of the things I find useful is just to check. Go ahead and watch this cell up here. Right now it says A19, which is the cell number of the cell the cursor is in. As I highlight my text, it gives me a count of rows and columns, and that's useful. I wanted to enter 12 data points, and I have 12 rows, so I haven't skipped one by accident. Now I'm going to compute the average and standard deviation. I'm going to first put in some labels. You can put these anywhere you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and set them off to the side here. My average and standard deviation. The STDEV abbreviation is also the name of the standard deviation function in Excel, but you could type in anything you would like there. This is set up as right justified because I previously had information in the cell, but you can change the justification left, right, or center using these buttons on your toolbar. Now, so far I've let Excel decide the formatting automatically. When I entered numbers, it treated them as numbers and right justified them. When I entered it as text, it treated them as text. Now I'm going to enter functions, and when I type a function, whether it be a simple addition or subtraction or one of Excel's programmed functions, you begin with an equal sign, and that tells it that it's calculating something. I'm going to use the function average, and this computes an arithmetic mean. I type in average, open parentheses, and then it prompts you for what you want to take the average of, and I want to take the average of this range of cells here. I'll start at the top, click and hold down the left mouse button, and drag it down. Notice that it puts in color-coded for the cell numbers. This is cell A7 through, that colon means through, A18, and you can see what that looks like over here. Then enter, and that's computed the average value for that range of cells. Standard deviation you do similarly, equals STDEV, open parentheses, the range of cells for which you want to compute your values, close parentheses, enter. If I were submitting this as a value, final value, I would call this 31.8 plus or minus 0.6. The reason being that the standard deviation is a measure of the uncertainty. So my first uncertain digit here is in the tenths decimal place here. So this average value should be rounded to that position. For purposes of this assignment, though, I'll leave the extra digits at first so that we can see that we've calculated these values properly.